Alright, welcome to the video on Cambridge IELTS 9 General Training A. So we are basically on this reading passage. So we'll go through the general training, Test A first, right? I'm gonna go through the questions one by one and I'll tell you the answers and basically show you why the answer is the answer it is. Okay, so question 1. Question 1. Okay, firstly, you have to write the correct letter A to G based on the correct job advertisements. Right. Number 1, a person with 2 small children who wants a few hours a week of unskilled work in the early mornings. So the answer to this, and I'll write the answer here too, is D. Let's go to D. So the question again is, a person with 2 small children who wants a few hours a week of unskilled work in the early mornings. All right, so going to D, you see 2 hours per week now. It satisfied this advertisement satisfy the criteria here. A few hours a week, 2 hours, and then you have early mornings before the offices open. And then you have also unskilled work. Unskilled work would be cleaning is an unskilled work. Okay, so cleaner, 2 hours a week before the offices open. So this is the correct answer, D. Okay, number 2, a person with no experience or qualifications who is looking for a short-term full-time job Monday to Friday. The answer here would be C. Let's go to C. And the question again is a person with no experience or qualifications. Okay, so formal qualifications not as important, so it's not necessary. Okay, who's looking for a short-term full-time job Monday to Friday. So short-term, okay, from January to July. So short-term is not like a job that's it's not a permanent job that's going to last for years and years. It's only from January to July. So that's short-term. And full-time, okay, full-time pretty much like almost 4 hours a week. 40 hours a week, 8 hours a day. That's kind of like full-time. Okay, you're not like working for a few hours a day. So this is pretty much a full-time job. And Monday to Friday. Okay, so this would be, the answer would be C. Let's go to 3. A lively student with no experience who cannot work on weekdays. The answer would be A. A lively student. Okay, so student, well, you see, it doesn't say student here, but you don't need to say student, okay? Because this person or this advertisement, the person who wrote this advertisement is not looking for a student per se, but just someone who fulfills these criteria. So bright, friendly, energy, enthusiasm, okay, lively, all this, when you think of all these words, you're talking about a lively student. So you have to understand the synonyms, the paraphrases, to understand that a lively student means bright, energy, with energy and enthusiasm. All right. With no experience who cannot work on weekdays. So with no experience not essential, and Saturday and Sunday, so it's not on weekdays. Okay, so therefore 3A. Next, you are going to question 4. The answer is G. Person with more than 20 years experience in catering who would like to run a business. So G, right? So a person with more than 20 years, very experienced person, looking to start up on their own. Start up, which means run a business. Okay. So, and with more than in catering is basically the food business, right? So a restaurant here kind of gives you a clue that this is about food. Okay. You need experience in the food business. Okay. Number 5, a catering college graduate who is now looking for his first full-time job. F is the answer. Full-time. Okay. Catering has to do with food. Full-time cook for a new and exciting cafe venture. So this suits this person very well. Full-time job. Okay. Cafe, cook, all these relates to the food business. So that's why it's 5F. 6, the answer is B. A person with many years experience working in hotels who is now looking for well-paid part-time employment in a hotel. Okay, the question again, a person with many years experience working in hotels. Okay, so talk about only applicants with experience. Okay, so there's the experience part. Who's now looking for well-paid. Okay, so is there any excellent wages, well-paid? These are the paraphrases. Well-paid part-time. Is there any reference to part-time there? Part-time employment in a hotel. Okay, so this fits perfectly. Both of these fit perfectly. Okay. Next, let us go to the next question, 7 to 14. This is still in section. This is still. Let me just go through that again. Okay. For these questions, basically, this is kind of like a matching of heading or matching of information. So of course, the questions are not in order. Remember, certain questions are in order, but not the matching information, not the matching headings kind of question. Okay. Okay. Let's go to question 7 to 14. This is the second part of section 1. So you have 2 very short articles, and the focus of this, these reading passages in section 1 and 2 is on work or daily life. So the first one was a job, talking about jobs, work. This one is talking about public transport or trains, taking trains. All these are things that if you are if you are taking general training IELTS, most likely is because you want to migrate. So these are very relevant. Okay. 7, there are advantages if you book. So you have to match them with the correct ticket. Okay. There are advantages if you book a journey with a friend. Okay, so 7 is going to be F. There are advantages if you book a journey with a friend. F. Special is an inclusive return travel package for 2. Okay, so you have to, you book with a friend. There's already 2. Talks about 2 people here, so a friend, including sleeper reservations. It can mean savings for both of you. All right, so that's the advantages there. If you book with a friend, there are savings for both of you. You cannot use this on a Friday. 8. C. You cannot use it on a Friday, except these peak days, all Fridays. Okay. This can be used without restriction. 9. G. without restriction. Not the cheapest option, but available up to the time of travel and valid for all trains and at all times. All right, so there are no restrictions. No restrictions, all times. And 10B, this can only be booked up to 7 days before departure. So up to 7 days before departure. B, great value by booking at least a week before outward travel. Okay, so by booking at least a week, that means this can be booked up to 7 days. That means can you book 6 days, like 6 days before? No. 5 days before? No. Okay, so this is a ticket. 10B Apex. 11. It's the cheapest ticket available, but there is a restriction on departure time. 11 would be A. Cheapest ticket available. Okay. Now, does it say it's the cheapest? It just says unbeatable price. Well, if you look at this, is 59, 69, 82, 95, 140 plus, 120. Not the cheapest. Okay, so that's definitely not the cheapest. So, yeah, as you can see, 59 is the cheapest ticket available. And also it says there's a restriction on departure time. So is there a restriction on book at least 2 weeks ahead? Okay, so again, there's a restriction on departure time. Okay, you can't book 1 week before you're traveling. Okay. 12, if you decide not to travel after you have bought the ticket, you cannot get your money back. 12 would be A. You cannot get your money back. Right? Okay. Now, so there's another answer which is A. Just remember, read the question carefully. You may use any letter more than once. Okay. So anyway, you cannot get your money back. 12 is if you decide not to travel after, you cannot get your money back. All right. So this ticket is non-refundable. Non-refundable means you can't get your money back unless the service is cancelled. So if the service is cancelled, then you can get your money back. But for any other reasons, you can't. Okay. So if you decide, it's not that the service is cancelled, but you decide. Okay. So 13, the answer is E. This is not available if you're traveling out on a Monday and back on the next day. Right? So it's not available. The journey must include a Saturday night away. So if you're traveling out on a Monday and back the next day, you're basically Saturday, you're not away on a Saturday. Okay, so it says that the journey must include a Saturday night away. So obviously this is 13 is E. 14, the answer is D. You cannot use this ticket for departures between midnight and 10 a.m. Midnight and 10 a.m. The flex is every day. Your ticket allows standard class travel on any train between 10 a.m. and midnight. So the question is, you cannot use this ticket for departures. All right. So can you use this ticket for departures between midnight and 10 a.m.? Not for this. Okay. So only this ticket only allows 10 a.m. to midnight. So that is 14 is D. Okay. Okay, let's go to section 2 now. So section 2 will have another 2 short passages. So 15. Okay, look at the question. Choose no more than 2 words. So maximum of 2 words, 1 or 2 words. Okay, you can use. Aim of formal dress code to present a professional image to clients. All right. So where does it say professional image? Now, one thing you have to remember again is remember some answers are in order, right? So this is one answer. This is if you remember all the different questions I went through, and this is basically this is the notes. Okay, so it could be in order. It may not be in order, but generally I would say it's definitely it's in order. Okay, and let me just. All right, so this is the answers to one of the reading worksheets that I went through with you. As you can see, matching headings, information, and features. No, the rest is yes, and this is not always. So this is like a note. Okay, a summary note, table, flowchart, diagram completion. Right, so you realize as you go through this section and this passage, at least this article, that the answers are in order. You expect them to be in order. I mean, not always, but here there's a lot of okay. The clue is just going to this. Okay, even if you look at like footwear accessories. Formal dress code guidelines. Okay, see all this formal dress code. See, you just by looking at the question carefully, you can already notice that it really relates to all the headings here. Okay, so very important. Know that some questions, the answers are going to be in order, and so it will help you a lot in terms of where you're looking for. Which section of the article you're looking for when you want to find the answer. Okay, so to present a professional image, says here to project. So you can see present, project, pretty similar synonyms. Professional image, right? To clients. Does it say to clients here? That's in keeping with the needs of clients. Basically, it doesn't say to clients, but of course it is towards the clients. Okay. State of clothes. They must be pressed, right? Press meaning ironed, okay, and in good condition. 16 should be, must be, should be. Again, these are the synonyms. Must be, should be, pretty similar. Never wrinkled, pressed and never wrinkled, okay, in good condition. So 17, tasteful. So it comes under accessories. So the answer will be around here. Okay, and provided they are tasteful. 18. These sometimes cause. So this comes under the makeup section. Allergic reactions. Okay, remember, as I've told you, always copy the words exactly from the text if they require you to get the information from the text, right? The answers from the text. Don't add your own S, don't take away an S. So if you put allergic reaction, there is, if you don't put the S, then it's going to be wrong, okay? Because it has to come exactly from the text. And if you're not sure how to spell something, then just go back to the text, because the answer is going to be 100% from the text. Don't try to, think that, oh, this is kind of the way it spells. I think it is spelled this way. No, just go to the text. It takes you 10 seconds more, right? You don't want to lose a mark, because if you miss out one letter, you're going to get it wrong, right? 19. Head covers in line with religious reasons or what are allowed So religious reasons. So it covers that required for reasons of faith. Religious reasons means reasons of faith. Faith and religion, these are words which are very similar. Okay. Or to honor cultural tradition. Right? To honor cultural tradition. So religious reasons or cultural tradition. Okay, so you see religious reasons here relates to reasons of faith. So the next or would be or. Now, you see, you can't put honor cultural tradition because I think they only ask you for what, maximum 2 words. So you don't want to put honor, you want to put the noun, the cultural tradition. Okay. 20. Clothing with the what on it is recommended. This is dressing down, so dress down. Clothing with the, that has our company logo, is recommended. Strongly encouraged. Do you see the same thing? Same meaning? So, company logo. And 21. Breaking the dress code. If advice is repeatedly ignored, a what is given? A verbal warning is given. Receive, okay, a verbal warning here. If the problem persists, that means, again, the word persists means it happens over and over again. Okay, so repeatedly, you see all these are the paraphrases, so you will know that the answer is verbal warning. All right, and we go to the next passage. 22. Pay increases depend on the what that each member of staff makes. 22. Pay increases depend on the, let's go to this. Okay. Again, if you look at this, this is going to be this is a short, this is a sentence completion question. So yeah, the answers are in order. Just as the previous section just now, you see the answers are in order. So again, it helps you a lot. Okay, so pay increases depend on the what that each member of staff. Okay, so don't forget to read this whole section here. Okay. Depend on, reviewed in the light of your progress. Okay, so it depends on your progress. Okay, employees must work a minimum of what to be eligible for a pension? Employees, so pension scheme, employees must work a minimum of, completed the qualifying period of, so you qualify if you work for a minimum of 5 years. Okay. Question 24. Staff may take a holiday at one of the what provided by the company. So let's go to where's the holiday section. There we go. Staff may take a holiday at one of the what provided by the company. At one of the residential clubs. Now, you don't, you are taking it at a place. So it is the residential, you're taking it at a club. Okay, some students put holiday accommodation. Here is not really, here the place is residential clubs, right? 25. The company pay half The company pay half the seat price for what and place? 25. For what? Now half. For what? What would it be? Place is mentioned here. So the other one is concerts. And I'm not sure if you guys notice, the company pay half. Now, the company would be a singular. So this question is actually wrong. Okay, grammatically wrong. I'm not sure why Cambridge made a grammar mistake here, but the company pays. All right, because it pays, subject-verb agreement. Okay, the company, see, that's why you have the gifts. Gives financial assistance for both educational courses and what as part of staff development. So another two things. Just now we talked about plays and concerts, so educational courses and continue the educational courses, leisure skills. All right, the company gives for both educational courses and leisure skills. Last question here. Employees may be entitled to a what if they find themselves in difficult circumstances. In cases of particular hardship, difficult circumstances, we will help staff with a loan. Okay? So that is section 2. Okay, we come to section 3. Section 3 is a long article, a long passage, and that's the reason. It's a pretty similar section to passage 3 for academic IELTS, and that's the reason why I recommend general training students to also do the academic IELTS. Academic IELTS reading, you have 3 passages which are exactly like this, okay? And so it's a good practice for this. Now, for general training IELTS students, if you want to get 7, you need about 34 out of 40 at least. So that means you are only allowed to make about 6 mistakes. And really, if you look at section 1 and section 2 as we've gone through, you should be making no mistakes whatsoever so that you can afford to make 6 mistakes in section 3. Okay, because section 1 and section 2 actually is quite easy, and you should challenge yourself to get almost full marks out of 27 to get as high as 25, 26, 27, because you will probably make mistakes in section 3. Okay, you may not have enough time, and section 3 is going to be much more difficult. So that is the target to really get full marks for section 1 and 2. Now, section 3, if you want to improve your section 3, also do academic IELTS reading papers. Okay, so let's go to question 28, the procedure. So this is which paragraph contains the following information. This is the matching information, which is not according to is not in order, so it's a bit more difficult. Okay, now the procedure for sorting through the remains of the fire. Okay, question 28. So let's go to the procedure. Right, so if you look here, first of all, marking the site. What are you looking for? You are looking for a procedure, step by step. This is what you have to do. After this you have to do this. Okay, so marking the site out into a grid, and then salvaging everything down to the last door and handle. The position of each fragment was recorded. You see, all these are the procedures. Okay, so 28, the answer is basically C, the paragraph C. Okay, 29, the question, how Park looked after the fire. How it looked after the fire. It is mentioned here. Okay, after the fire, the following morning after the fire. Okay, sludge of wet charcoal covered the ground, blah blah blah. It was a scene. It gives you a clue, or you're talking about how it looked like, a scene of utter devastation. Okay, so B. 30. Improvements made to the rebuilt art park. Improvements made. The answer for this would be G. So improvements made, G. Let's go to G. So here are the improvements made. Okay, it made economic sense for the National Trust to invest time in upgrading. Okay, these are the improvements. Right? (31) The selection of people to carry out the repair work. The answer would be F. So we're looking at the selection. I mean, how selection, do you select people? Who are you going to select? Okay, so where does it talk about this? F. Okay, so the selection, the search. So you're talking about search, right? The selection of people to carry out the repair work. Doing the intricate restoration work was nationwide. So the restoration is repair. So the search. So this is basically about the search for these people that will do the repairs. Okay. 32. Why the National Trust chose to rebuild Art Park? That will be in E. Paragraph E. Why did they choose to repair? It was undertaken. The repair was undertaken. Or the why? For 3 main reasons. Then it gives you the 3 reasons. Okay. 1, 2, 3. So 32E and 33, how people reacted. Okay, so you're looking for a reaction. People happy? What did they say, etc. to the rebuilt art park. 33, the answer would be H. How they reacted. Were visibly, the family and the room tours were visibly moved when returning to their old haunts. Okay, so how they reacted, they were visibly moved. Okay, so go to the next part, which is short answer questions. No more than 3 words. 34. On what date in 1989 should the original repairs have been completed? Remember, original repairs. Were due, the original one, okay, not the one after the burning down. They were due to finish on August 31st. Okay, now just write August 31st. Don't go and write, no, don't be funny and write 31 August or 31st August. I mean, copy exactly from the text. Okay, so you don't have to ask all these questions. If you've copied exactly from the text, which is what the question basically asks you to do, take it from the text. All right, then there should be, see, choose no more than 3 words from the text. There should be no issues whatsoever. So 34. 35. By what method were things rescued immediately from the burning house? By what method? So we are looking at a method. By what method? Stewards formed human chains to pass. So they form one person after the other to pass all these things. Pass each other all these things, right? So by what method were things rescued immediately from the burning house, right? So this was the method, human chains. Now, let's look at another word with a synonym. Immediately. You see, swift. Swift means very quick, very immediate. Okay, so there you have some clues. 36. After the fire, what did the conservators require large quantities of immediately? After the fire, what did they require large? What did the conservators require large quantities of immediately? All right, they required, and even or especially open. So fire, the National Trust conservators were being mobilized, and that evening, local stationers were especially open to provide what? Bulk supplies of blotting paper. So what did the conservators require? Large quantities. Okay, bulk. So bulk supplies. The synonym for large quantities, bulk supplies. Okay, bulk means in a lot, in huge numbers. Okay, so what would the answer be? Blotting paper. They needed large supplies of blotting paper. And immediately, right? Straight away after that, they needed it. Into what did the conservators put material recovered from the fire? Into what? Material recovered from the fire. Right? All debris was stored in countless. Into what did the conservators put material covered? In countless. They put it into countless. Countless is optional, but dustbins is the answer. Okay. Now, if you look at 34, 35, 36, 37, it is in order. 34, 35, 36, and 37. Okay, so there again is your clue, right? 38, 39, and 40. 38. Let's have a look at the question. The fire destroyed. Okay, the answer is C. The roof of the house. Now, let's have a look. All the contents. This is a bit tricky. You could find the answer by by elimination. All the contents of the ground floor. So did the fire destroy this is 38A. All the contents of the ground floor. So is it true? Is that the answer? Well, I've already told you it's not C, but let me show you why A is not. Did it destroy every single thing? Okay, nothing was to survive of the priceless collection on the first floor apart from. So, did it destroy all the contents? No, because they destroyed everything except for an oil painting. So, A is not right. B, most of the contents of the basement. Most of the contents of the basement. 95% of the contents from the ground floor and the basement were saved. Now, if this was saved, that means actually only 5% was lost. Okay, so most of the contents, no. All right, all the contents, no. 95% was saved, not all. So B and D are wrong. So what's left? C. Okay, this is by process of elimination. 39. One of the reasons the National Trust decided to rebuild Art Park was that. One of the reasons the National Park decided to rebuild Art Park was. Let's go to paragraph E. Remember we talked about, it mentioned 3 reasons before, right? So you have, it was undertaken for 3 main reasons, so you talk about the 3 main reasons here. And the answer for 39 is C. They wouldn't have to pay for the repairs. Is that one of the reasons? After how much? The property was covered by insurance, so the repairs would not call upon the National Trust owned funds. Okay, so this is the second reason, basically. All right. If you go and look at the rest, it's not there in the passage. Okay. 40. And the answer, some of the craftsmen and women employed in the restoration of Art Park have benefited because D. They acquired skills they didn't have previously. They acquired skills they didn't have previously. Okay. So many of them, for example, have relearned the skills of the 17. So they didn't have this, before they did this work, before they were hired, because they had to relearn all these skills. Relearn not as in they learned it once and they're going to relearn again, but the first people who, the skills were there in the 17th and 18th century. Okay, but they learned it, so they didn't have it before. All right. So again, 38, 39, 40, if you look at the position, it is in order again. 38, the answer is in paragraph A. 39, the answer was in paragraph E. And 40, the answer was in paragraph F. Okay, so this completes Cambridge IELTS 9 General Training A, Section 1 to 3.